What's up, guys? This is the Galaxy's Greatest, Austin Peffer here, and I'm here once again with Shane DeVoe, and it is time for our Week 11 predictions of the NFL season. First things first, you might notice it's very windy tonight, so if the wind is causing problems with the audio, my apologies. Kind of the way it is. We're kind of limited in areas to shoot, so
yeah, been kicked out of one area already.
We've already been kicked out of one area, so going off of last week, the winners were Mama Pepper and Mike Frampton, 12-2 last week. Congratulations to you two. As for the leaderboard, you are dominating, Mr. Shane DeVoe.
4 weeks in a row, boys. Keep it going.
96 wins as of now. You're likely the first one to hit a hundo. I might hit a hundo as well this week. I am currently in second place along with Big Boss Man 25 at 91 wins. You have a controlling lead, though.
That feels great.
A very comfortable lead. It must feel great. You're hoping for that $20 gift card of your choice.
Yeah. So I can go anywhere I want, man.
Wherever you want. But let's get right into Week 11. We have a handful of games with playoff implications. It's been tough for me to even pick a game of the week. I have like 4 games of the week, I'd say. Like last week I had 3 key games. I'm saying 4 games of the week.
I think I might have 5, depending on what we say.
Maybe, possibly 5, 6 can be debatable, but I have 4 star games.
Okay.
So let's get straight into the action with one of the first starred games. Thursday night, Tennessee Titans at the Pittsburgh Steelers. This game will be in Skycam predominantly. That'll be interesting to see.
And raining in Pittsburgh. So
is it raining in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, it's gonna rain.
Ooh.
Ben's not good in the rain, boys.
And Dick LeBeau's return to Pittsburgh.
It's going to get emotional.
It's going to be a very emotional game. But
are they doing the tribute tonight for him? Like they did with Peyton, with the art player who comes back?
I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
They should. Give him a try.
I'll leave it to you. First pick, Shane.
Again, I have to pick Steelers, but based off recent history of the Titans, they beat us. And it's not by big, it's by a field goal every time. I believe, though, this is a game that's going to prove to me and probably Austin here what team Pittsburgh is going to be come towards the end of the stretch. We need now to win games out. We have to win them big. We have to get at least a 30-point game this season, for Pete's sakes. To hold up with the Patriots. We have to. I believe this is the night where Pittsburgh gets it going. Last week was a disappointment in the first half. I even left the game because I was disappointed. But I think now we're going to come back. We're going to go hard in the first half and make sure to put this game away.
I'm going to reluctantly go with Pittsburgh as well. Tennessee's one of those teams that a bit similar to us. When they are facing high-tier teams,
they play good.
They show up. Seattle, they beat them. Who's another high-tier team? Jacksonville, before we really knew they were a high-tier team. They handled them pretty well. I mean,
if the Bengals were good, they beat them.
And also, if you look at Tennessee's losses, let's see, they lost to Oakland, which is we didn't really know how they were before, but they've lost to some bad teams, and same as the Steelers. So I think this game could tell a lot about both of these teams. I am nervous for Pittsburgh now without Joe Hayden for possibly the rest of the year. He was a huge contribution to that defense, so I'm curious to see where it goes. But
helped us during the Detroit game, I'll tell you that. Holy cow.
Here comes the wind picking up.
Yep, ladies.
But I mean, honestly, games like this, it kind of comes down to like, I don't like doing this anymore, but sometimes it comes down to who's home and the emotion. I think there might be just enough emotion for Pittsburgh to get the win.
I believe that too.
I think it'll come down to emotion here. Let's move on to Detroit Lions at the Chicago Bears. Kind of a tough game to pick because
division rivals,
and out of all the division games Chicago would win, this is usually the one against Detroit in Soldier Field. But I'm going to go with the Lions here. I think I'm going to take a chance on the Lions and take them. Beforehand, I would have taken the Bears, but I think the Lions will get the upper hand this time around.
Yeah, I believe so too. The Lions now have to keep pace with the Minnesota Vikings. I don't think right now they're in contention. They're in the hunt right now for the playoffs, but they need the win. They have to keep winning out to the rest of the year now to at least have a chance to put their bid up for the playoffs. They need this win tonight to at least have a chance. So I think they'll win.
All right. And next we have the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Cleveland Browns. And we know the Jaguars could sleep on this game.
They slept last game. Holy cow.
Wait, Jacksonville did?
Yeah, they almost lost the game.
Oh, that's right. What am I thinking? I was thinking of Detroit against Cleveland. I mean, they kind of did until the end, but I got to go with Jacksonville here. They're just the way better team, and I mean, Cleveland's just like last year. Some teams going to fall asleep, and Cleveland's going to do just enough to get the win. But I don't see it here. Jacksonville, their defense alone, they have one of those defenses like. Okay, I don't want to compare them to the 2000 Ravens defense just yet, but
they're getting
they have a dominant presence where, similar to the 2000 Ravens or the 2002 Buccaneers, even debatably the 2015 Denver Broncos, their defense alone could carry them far.
How about the Steel Current? Is it possible there could be
even
carrying them?
You can even compare them to the Steelers. But I got to go Jacksonville winning this game.
Yeah, same here. Last week was a bit of a nail biter for all Jackson fans, considering that your quarterback threw 2 interceptions in the last minute and you still won the game. That's unheard of.
I think Philip Rivers is just cursed, though.
Yeah. Especially in LA.
Next, we're moving on to Baltimore at Green Bay. I think this could be a close game. I'm going to let you pick first, though.
I'm going Green Bay.
You're going to go Green Bay?
Yeah, I'm going Green Bay. Green Bay is, they said on the Las Vegas predictions and points predict that Packers are a 2.5 underdog. And they're in Lambeau. I don't think Joe Flacco is going to do good in Lambeau, considering that this defense now is starting to get back to where they were. The offense is rolling now. They believe now this is their quarterback, at least help them for a bit till Aaron Rodgers comes back. Maybe the end of this year, maybe next. He definitely will be next year, but they need to believe in this quarterback, Brett Hundley. And he won them their game last week, which was a major win against their rivals, longtime rivals, the Chicago Bears. And I believe he's going to pick up again this week and do a lot better.
I'm reluctantly going with the Ravens here, and honestly I would have picked the Packers. They probably would have been my first choice, so I'm kind of scared to pick the Ravens, but they are coming off a bye. They got some rest. Might actually end up working in their favor because they really needed it, and maybe they'll have enough of a game plan to win this game.
In the cold.
Yeah. I mean, I might regret this, but I have a feeling Baltimore's defense will show up this game. Okay. I have a feeling. We're moving on next to Kansas City at New York. Giants, that is. Well, this would have been a game of the week if we looked at this ahead of the season, but.
Should we say it's not 3?
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Giants will lose this game.
Giants will lose this game. Yeah. Gotta go Kansas City.
By double digits.
Probably. Yeah, this whole locker room is just a mess. Washington Redskins at New Orleans Saints. Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped the game. The LA Rams at the Minnesota Vikings. Another game of the week. Let's see. Who wants to?
I'll go with this.
You'll go with this one? All right.
I believe so. That both teams are in the playoffs as of right now.
Yeah, they're both 7-2.
And this could be potentially, depending on how the season ends, a possible division round playoff match if everything works out. I'm picking the Los Angeles Rams to win this one. I understand that they both won and it was okay of a game, but I just don't trust Minnesota's defense, and nor do I trust the fact that they have now Teddy Bridgewater's back, as he possibly going to get in Casey Keenum's head that, oh man, I'm not going to be able to keep up this performance now since he's back. They can put him in as soon as I mess up. Jared Goff's got nothing to worry about. He's going to go out there and just go down the field. He's going to hand it off to Gurley, and they're going to run over and pass over this defense.
You're taking the Rams?
I'm picking the Rams.
I'm agreeing with you and taking the Rams. Case Keenum's eventually going to fall. He's still a backup quarterback. I know he's been playing really well, but eventually they fall. And I think we're slowly going to see that. And I know I'm kind of scared. I'm being very risky this week, going with a lot of road teams, especially the Rams, because at Minnesota, it's not an easy place to win. But I'm going to take my chances. I'm really confident with this Rams team because I see the Rams as a 12 Vikings, maybe more so 11-5. I see them, although they are on pace for 12-4. I see them more as an 11-5, maybe even 10-6 team.
Okay.
So that's why I'm going with the Rams. It sounds kind of silly,
but hey, whatever helps you win the game, that's all that matters.
Whatever helps you win the game, that's right. We're moving on to the Washington Redskins at the New Orleans Saints. I don't have this one starred, but you could debate it's a star game, or at least a top tier game this week. Got to roll with the Saints here. Until they lose, I think I have to pick the Saints.
I do too. This looks like the 2009 Saints, where they were just running over teams, going in and just manhandling them. And I believe the Saints are back, ladies and gentlemen. Get ready for the playoffs. This team is now starting to heat up, and you don't want to play against the Saints when it comes to playoff time. And if they get the number 2 seed,
you better hope you're an outdoor team.
You better hope
in the North during the playoffs with home field advantage, or at least home field over the Saints, or you're going to be in some trouble.
And that dome gets loud, ladies and gentlemen, when they start playing, so get prepared. But I'm calling this, they're going to probably win. I believe it's going to be a lot closer than people think. Yeah. I believe that. The fact that last week was a massive blowout to Buffalo, holy cow. No one expected that.
Man.
Drew Brees didn't throw a touchdown pass, but he ran one, which is unheard of.
Man.
But I'm going to go with the Saints.
Guys, the Saints are marching in. They're fresh. They got a young crew around them. Alvin Kamara, possible offensive rookie of the year, and Marshawn Lattimore, possible defensive rookie of the year. It's insane what's going on in New Orleans. The Saints are marching in, guys. Arizona Cardinals at the Houston Texans. I got to go Arizona here. No, Deshaun Watson's really hurting this Texans team. They just keep getting banged up with injuries right now. The injury bug is just terrible for Houston right now. And I mean, Arizona, they're usually good every other week. They have a week and a half for this game. I'm going to go with Arizona. And right now, Adrian Peterson, he's good every other week. This is the week he would be really good. So I'm going to roll with Arizona. I mean, they're doing all right with Drew Stanton. I mean, Stanton's not decent. He's one of the better backups of the league. So I feel confident in saying the Arizona Cardinals win this game.
I believe so too. I believe it's just the way that the Houston Texans are playing without Deshaun Watson and their defense, how they're now playing without J.J. Watt, knowing that we have no chance now to make playoffs. We're just going to go out there and try and hopefully make these games close so we can have a chance. I just believe the Arizona Cardinals with Drew Stanton, probably arguably the best backup in the league, arguably at this point in the season. I believe he's going to win it. Is it going to be close? Probably, but I won't be surprised if they win by 7 points.
All right. We move on to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Miami Dolphins. Originally week 1, but we all know what happened with their hurricane.
Wait, is the hurricane going to happen again?
I don't think so.
That'll be funny.
Not this time of year. Who do you got, Shane?
I believe I picked the Miami Dolphins. I'll have to correct myself when I go back online to check. I believe this is a game that they have to win, at least have a chance to be in contention still for the playoffs. They are still in as of right now, ladies and gentlemen, in the hunt, surprisingly. I believe it's going to be a very close game. I don't expect it to be that big of a scoring, but I'm going with Miami Dolphins.
I'm actually going to go with my original pick from week 1. I'm going Tampa Bay Buccaneers. When Ryan Fitzpatrick plays for a contract, when it's his first year in, or when he's proven he can do well, that's when he shines. And I kind of see him in that situation. I don't really see him becoming the full-on starter over Jameis Winston.
No.
But he's kind of playing for that contract, playing for that starting job, maybe somewhere else. So Ryan Fitzpatrick will be at his best, I think. And this Dolphins team, they are just struggling. My hood fell down. I think I got to roll with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers here.
Okay.
We move on to the Buffalo Bills at the LA Chargers. One of the few games I'm actually going with the home team. I got the LA Chargers winning here. This is probably the last time I'm picking the Chargers if they lose this game. But what are you doing benching Tyrod Taylor?
That's what I was going to say.
I know he had a pretty bad game against the Saints, but it was one bad game. 2 days before you legit said, this is our guy. And then you bench him for Nathan Peterman. I'm not talking trash on Nathan Peterman or anything.
He's a rookie. We don't know.
But he's a rookie. We don't know what we're going to get from him. I mean, at least with the Chargers, we kind of have an idea of what we're going to get from them. Pretty much their main problem is winning. Like, they can stay in games. They just have a terrible time trying to win. But I think, and you know, if they win this game, they might be back in it. They'll be back in some mild talks for that last wild card spot. I'm clinging on to them being the 16 with every inch of my life. I just want to be right, okay? I've been wrong a lot. I said the Giants would make the Super Bowl. I look pretty stupid.
And you said the Rams won't make it either.
I didn't think the Rams were a playoff team. I mean, I thought maybe they'd be like, you know, an 8-8 team, but I look kind of stupid, guys. I mean, granted, I'm actually doing pretty decent with my picks this season. I actually haven't had a losing season. I'm getting off track. I'm taking the Chargers.
After what I heard recently of them benching their starting quarterback, I literally cussed out at my TV, thinking, what were they thinking? They just basically threw away their season, ladies and gentlemen. It's over for them. They're losing the rest of their games. I'm calling it Chargers.
Why do they choose to tank now when they should have just tanked from the beginning of the season? I had the Bills at like 3-13 at one point. I think I changed that to 5-11. You know what? They might actually go 5-11. I kind of hope they do now. But with that said, we're taking the Chargers. Cincinnati Bengals at the Denver Broncos. Both of these teams piss poor. Who do you have here, Shane?
I believe I picked the Broncos. I'll have to again check. I just believe the Broncos need this win badly. They need it for morale reasons this time. They have no chance of making playoffs at this point. They got no chance. But they might as well just go out, win this to help Pittsburgh and have a chance to have a bigger lead. But it might be close. It might be very close. But I'm going Denver.
I'm actually going Cincinnati. I mean, I don't think either of these teams are that good, but at least Cincinnati has been in it with a lot of games. As for the Broncos, they are just their defense is a shell of their former selves. Their offense can't get anything going. At least Cincinnati has a little bit of hope, and I mean, granted, it's a little piece of corn and a giant piece of shit. I don't know why I made that comparison.
Nice analogy there, pal.
Thank you. Cincinnati.
I got that visual now. That's pretty disgusting.
So we move on to the New England Patriots, not at the Oakland Raiders, against the Oakland Raiders, but in Mexico City.
Mexico. Raiders are 1-0 in this city.
Don't you think it's a bit unfair though that the Patriots have to play 2 games in a row in like?
But they stayed out. They stayed out at Denver.
Like high altitude. Now they managed. They did a great job in Denver. Will it catch up to them in Mexico City? I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna take the New England Patriots to win this game. I mean, when in doubt, go with the Patriots. You know, I mean, before the season started, I probably would have taken the Raiders, but at this point, we just know the Raiders' defense isn't that good. And the Patriots' defense is getting better. The Patriots always get better later in the season. September's always their worst month, but they always get better. Go with the Patriots.
I'm going to go with the Patriots too. Don't be surprised though if the Raiders win, because I believe the last time
Raiders have a lot to fight for.
I believe the last time we did a game with the Raiders, it was a Thursday night game against the Chiefs, and one of our companions, Hoggy, barely won that game.
Barely won that game.
So I'm going to have to go with the Patriots. I believe Patriots are going to win this big, but again, I won't be surprised though if Derek Carr pulls something out of his butt.
Interesting analogy from you there, Shane.
Yep.
We move on to another game of the week. The Philadelphia Eagles at the Dallas Cowboys. You could debate this might not be as much of a game of the week though anymore, knowing no Ezekiel Elliott, possibly without Tyron Smith again, which I think is the main reason why they lost to the Falcons. They're going to be without Sean Lee. That's crucial. It feels safe to pick the Eagles, and it feels safe to say they're winning this division.
Jerry Jones getting upset about being called down, saying he's blocking out the contract with Goodell. So there's a lot of POs people in Dallas right now.
I mean, he's unhappy with that. He's unhappy about Heidi drinking the water bears. If you didn't watch last night's South Park, go watch it. Did you watch it?
Yep.
Awesome. You know exactly what I'm talking about then.
I'm going with the Eagles this one. The
Yeah,
Eagles are the most dominant team in the AFC this year. They're just going to prove it again.
Alrighty, and final game. Oh, actually, before we get into that, I know there's that the whole Dak versus Wentz thing has been getting kind of out of hand. So let's just put it this way. Right now, Wentz is better than Dak. Absolutely. Would I take Wentz over Dak in general? Yes.
I would.
But last year, Dak was the better quarterback.
That's why I stayed with many Dallas fans. They're saying that they said Dak. I'm not even joking. The guy's comment, I should put it under your video. He commented saying Dak and Zeke are the GOATs. They're going to be great for the next 10 years.
Now, don't get me wrong. I think Dak Prescott is an absolute good quarterback.
Yeah.
I think he's a star. But and last year, he had the better year. He was the better rookie. But the thing is, Wentz has more improvement. He had more room to progress. Prescott, he's kind of going to stay at the level he is. Might get a little better, but and he's a great leader. But as of now, so what I'm trying to say is Wentz is overall better, but last year Dak was the better man.
So it's year by year basis now.
Year by year basis. Who knows? Maybe Dak will be better than Wentz again next year.
We'll have to find out later.
Yeah.
Tune in next year.
And finally, another starred game: the Atlanta Falcons at the Seattle Seahawks. Really interested to see what happens with the Seahawks now without Richard Sherman. But they did re-sign Byron Maxwell back, and we all know he was at his best when he was with Seattle. That could be the same case once again. But this Atlanta Falcons defense is really starting to come along now, and they might have revived their season. I don't want to say they did, but they might be rejuvenating their season and possibly getting into the playoff mix. I'm going to play it a little safe here and say Seattle, just to go with the home team. I feel a little safer going with Seattle. I don't feel safe picking Atlanta just yet.
I'm going to go with Seattle too. Thanks for telling me about the Byron Maxwell. I didn't know about that. But again, yeah, when they had all their original cast members of the Legion of Boom, they were unstoppable. Now you got him, who I believe was with the Eagles. Byron Maxwell.
Yeah, he went to the Eagles.
Boy, doesn't he feel ashamed leaving them now. But I believe he's going to be a massive help come that Monday night game. He's going to be a massive help. And he's going to be a big replacement for Richard Sherman. And he knows his defense well enough. He's going to be basically in the same position as Richard Sherman come certain plays. He's going to be able to help this defense greatly.
And I mean, I'm not sure if Earl Thomas is playing this game, because that's the real guy that really controls that Seattle secondary. Because we all saw without him last season, Seattle's secondary was not the same. He was that Jenga piece. But if Earl Thomas is back for this game, I really feel confident in saying the Seahawks will win.
I agree too.
Alrighty, well, we went through all the games. Any final thoughts in terms of teams, players?
Like I said, when I told Austin before we recorded this, for the past 3 weeks, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you know about this, someone has been injured on Thursday nights. And I'm not going to say who's going to possibly get injured tonight, but it might be on one team, it might be on the other. But with Ben's comments recently saying that I hate Thursday nights, I wouldn't be surprised, though, if something were to with him tonight. And if it does, me and Austin are going to go grab a nice cup of Joe and cry, because that's the season's over.
Well, I'm going to cry.
Landry Jones, I don't trust. Josh Dobbs at this point,
He's too young.
I can't trust him. We got no hope. The season will be over. We might as well give it back to the Bengals.
I swear, if you're right on this and this happens, I mean, I won't be surprised at all, because I've had the same feeling. I'm hoping we jinx the jinx and it doesn't happen.
What, do we hope we injure them?
No. I'm hoping we jinx the jinx and no injuries happen. But
it might happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Don't be surprised if next year they get rid of Thursday night games. It's going to save.
The only Thursday games they're going to. I mean, they have to keep the Thanksgiving games. So.
Well, besides that, they're going to.
They have to. That's tradition. Can't wait for Thanksgiving next week. Any like advice with fantasy?
Just follow my motto. Pick the right teams on this field, you will win.
I honestly, I haven't been looking too much in fantasy this past week. I really need to get to looking, because I'm pretty sure I probably have a Steeler or two playing, so I might want to double check that.
I'll say, if for fantasy, if anyone has Juju Smith-Schuster,
Pick him up.
pick him up or
Pick him up.
keep him and sell him high, because you're going to get a lot of people out of him.
Yeah, he's doing really well so far. Pick up Juju
And
Smith-Schuster.
if anyone has Martavis, keep him on the side. Keep him on the side, because
Keep an eye on
he
him.
was doing
He
okay.
might
He did
progress.
okay last week. He helped us on two big plays. I have a feeling he's going to do big tonight. Watch this. This defense is not good against tall wide receivers. So get prepared tonight for the Martavis Bryant show.
We should just start calling this Steeler talk, because I feel like 50% of this video we just talk about the Steelers.
Because it's Thursday night. Why can't I?
All right, we're over 25 minutes, so we're going to move on out of here. Thank you guys for watching. It's getting dark now. Thank goodness we got this all filmed. Thank you guys for watching. This has been Shane DeVoe and the Galaxy's greatest Austin Peffer. We'll see you guys next time. Take it easy. Woo!